Hi, and welcome to the third training video in how to use the Brainient Studio to add interactivity to your videos. In the second video I talked about how to add click-through icons for various bits of social interactivity. What I'm going to talk about in this video is how can we add a little bit more engagement to your videos. That might include custom web actions. It could include printing straight from an advert, adding a calendar event, adding an ad selector, for example, to let a user choose a particular video. So there are a few examples that I'm going to focus on today. We're going to start off by taking a bit more of an in-depth look into the custom icon. When we click on the custom icon, we get two options. We can use an image for the icon, and we can also enter a URL that will take the user to a specific web page. Not only can we take a user to a web page, but any type of URL, even if that creates an action. So to start off with, let's take Google Plus as an example. Let's just say you want to add the ability to share on Google Plus. Not only are you just taking them to Google Plus, but you need to also have the ability to share within it. So what I'm going to do, firstly, I'm going to change the tooltip text to share on Google Plus, so that when the user's mouse hovers over it, they will see a little pop-up that says share on Google Plus. What I then need to do is find an icon to use. Now, we'd recommend that you upload your own here, or use an icon that's stored on your web servers, just so you're in control of it. But what I'm going to do for this example, I'm going to go onto Google, and let's search for Google Plus logos. And we can see there is a business page on Google Plus where we have the logo. So let's copy the URL for it, go back to our studio, and paste that in. So we can now see that we have a G+ logo on our interactive video. Now for the click-through link, rather than just taking the user to Brainient's Google Plus page, for example, we can enter in a more complex URL. Now with Google Plus, they have an API which allows us to share something on Google Plus simply by going to a URL. So for example, by going to plus.google.com with this extra suffix at the end, not only will we be going to Google Plus, but we'll be actually sharing content on it. So if I now click Save and Preview, not only do we have the video playing, but we have this Google Plus icon, and if we click on it, it takes us to Google Plus, and it's automatically sharing the web page. Now that can be the same for a video or anything else that you wanted to share. Once we click the share button, this page will close and take us back to the video. So once again, the whole purpose of this interactivity is to allow the user to engage and do things without actually leaving the video itself. Now in this case I used a Google Plus example, but that could apply to any website with any API. It could apply to Pinterest, although we already have a predefined button for Pinterest, but also any other type of interactive web page. Now I mentioned before we're also going to look at potentially printing straight from an advert and also adding a calendar event. Now these both use the custom icon, but just in different ways. For example, if we look at printing directly from one of these custom icons, we can take an example of Tesco's. They have a recipe website. So if we go back to Google, and if we search for Tesco recipes, we get taken to the Tesco recipe website. Now the reason I'm going to use the Tesco recipe website is because on this page they have print buttons. So let's open up a recipe, the top one, and we can see we have a print button right here. And when we click on it, not only does it open up a new page, but it also takes us to the print dialog box, which is quite nice because it means the user has one less thing to do. All they have to do is simply click print. So what we can do is if we go back to this web page, we can copy the link that this is taking us to. So copy shortcut. So now if we go to this URL directly, it takes us straight to the print dialog box. Now what this means is in our interactive video, let's just say this was a video for some sort of recipe or cooking a certain product, we could change the text to print cooking instructions, and in the click-through URL we can add that particular URL from Tesco's. In this case I've left the Google Plus logo, but we'd obviously change it to a printer or any other type of logo that you'd want to use. So if we now click preview, while our video is playing, the user can click this button and they are given the print dialog in order to print the recipe directly from that page. So once again, the advantage is the user can interact with the video, they can print out any cooking instructions, but they don't actually have to leave the site in order to do that. Now the same applies to a calendar event, but this time it gets a little more complex because you actually have to have the calendar event already uploaded to a web server. I'll show you how to do this through Microsoft Outlook. This is something many of you will already be familiar with, unless you're using a Mac of course, where you'll be much more used to iCal, but this also works with Google Calendars and any other type of calendar provider. What I'm going to do is first generate a .ics file. So that's generally the file we use when we want to share some sort of meeting or appointment. In order to do that, I'm going to go to my calendar and I'm going to create a new appointment. In this case, we'll just give it a subject of demo appointment. The location can be, I don't know, anywhere, a URL or whatever. And here we can input a date and also a time and some text with the appointment. So we create the appointment and then we go to File and Save As, and this allows us to save the calendar file wherever we like. So in this case I'll just call it demo. Okay, so we've now created a demo.ics file. So what we can then do is upload that file to a web server. So I've already done that, and once we've uploaded it to a web server, it gives us a link. What I'm going to do here then is change this tooltip text to add event to calendar. So let's just say this is a video for a concert or some sort of festival or any event for that matter. We can once again change the icon to maybe a calendar button, and here we can enter the URL. So in this case I've entered a link to my demo.ics file, which we can see is hosted on the Brainient Amazon web server. I'm going to save this and then click preview, and now when we click on the logo, add event to calendar, it allows the user straight away to download the ICS file. We're going to open it, and here we go, it opens in Microsoft Outlook with all the right fields, the start time, end time, subject, location, and any body of the text, and it allows the user straight away to save. This will open with their default client, so in this case my default is Outlook. Mac users it will be iCal, but it could also be set to Google Mail or anything else. So that's how we can add custom icons to print directly from adverts, share things on Google Plus, or even add something to a calendar. The last thing I'm going to show you in this particular video is something called an ad selector. So an ad selector allows you to give the user a choice of several videos and give them a choice of which video they want to watch. So for example, do you want to watch trailer 1, trailer 2 or trailer 3? Now to show you an example of this particular campaign isn't going to work because we already have a video playing. So what I'm going to do is exit this one, and I'm going to create a new campaign. And we're going to call it Ad Selector Demo. And we already have one, so I'll just add a 1 there. Now in this case we need to select no video because we're going to give the user a choice of multiple videos. Once we've created it, we can then edit the video in the studio. We can see that there's no interactivity yet, so we'll edit in the studio, and from here we can select the Ad Selector app from the top left. So the Ad Selector app allows us to now customize which videos we give to the user. so the tooltip text can be ignored here because it gets displayed anyway. Though we can add a message at the top, so please choose a video from the following. And here we can add multiple videos. Below that we can also see the bottom text. Your advert will automatically start in X amount of seconds. And we can also add an image to the background of the video if you want to do so. So what we'll do, we'll leave that bottom text as the same and we'll add a couple of videos. Now when we add a video we have some different options. We have a link to the video, an image, a caption, a click-through link if we want one, and also an impression pixel or a third-party tracker for when the link's actually clicked. I'm going to add two videos. The first one is our Xbox Kinect interactive demo. So let's just type in the URL there. Once again we can actually upload the video file itself if we already have it. And here we can input a link for the thumbnail for the video. In this case I've already got one saved, so I'm going to upload my own image. We can add a caption, so this caption will be Kinect demo, and we'll leave the click-through and third-party tracker blank. When we click save, we can then see the advert is presented to us on our screen. Now I'm going to add a second one. So we're going to link in another YouTube video, upload another thumbnail, and for the caption, Brainient CEO shows Kinect demo. So this is just a different video which also shows us the Kinect interactivity. We can now save this, preview it. So what would happen is when the video starts, the user gets displayed with a screen where they can select a video. If no video is selected, it automatically takes the user to the first one. And as we can see with everything, we have a preview URL which can be copied, and if we now leave the page, we can send this to another user who can then open up the video, play it, and then decide which video they want to watch. So thank you for watching. That covers some extra interactivity of what you can do using the Brainient Interactive Studio. In the next video I'm going to talk about how to use the mapping application and also how to add a product carousel to demonstrate multiple products within your interactive video. Thanks for watching.